In the ancient lands of Ur, amidst towering temples and bustling cities devoted to many gods, lived a man named Abram. He was a man of quiet strength, known not for wealth or wisdom alone, but for a certain stillness within, a readiness to listen. And one day, amid the ordinary stillness of dawn, a voice pierced through the silence of his soul. It was not the voice of man or idol. It was the voice of the Eternal One, the true and living God.
Abram.
Voice called. Abram fell to the ground, trembling.
Leave your country, your people, and your father's household. Go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you. And through you, all nations of the earth shall be blessed.
No map. No destination. Just a call. Just a promise. And Abram obeyed. At 75 years old, he gathered his belongings, his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all the souls of his household. With every step, he left behind the familiar gods of his father and walked toward a land his eyes had not yet seen. They journeyed across deserts and hills, passing through Shechem, where the Lord appeared again and said,
To your offspring I will give this land.
There Abram built his first altar. There, he worshipped, not a stone idol, but the invisible, holy God who had called him. Yet as the years passed, the promise of descendants seemed like a fading dream. Sarai, his wife, was barren. Her womb, once a vessel of hope, had grown old. Her heart, even older. They tried in their own way. Sarai gave Abram her servant, Hagar, and a child named Ishmael was born. But Ishmael, though loved, was not the child of promise. Then, when Abram was 99, the Lord appeared to him once more. This time, the voice thundered with glory and gentleness.
I am El Shaddai, God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. I will confirm my covenant with you. Your name will no longer be Abram, but Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Sarai shall be called Sarah, and I will bless her and give you a son by her. Kings of peoples shall come from her.
Abraham laughed, not in mockery, but in awe. Could a 100-year-old man and a 90-year-old woman bear a child? But God's promise did not falter.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Soon after, 3 heavenly visitors came to Abraham's tent by the oaks of Mamre. They looked like men but spoke with divine authority. As Sarah listened behind the tent, one of them said,
I will return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son.
Sarah laughed within herself. She thought, after I am worn out, and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? But the visitor turned and said,
Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?
And indeed, in the appointed time, the barren womb of Sarah was filled with life. She conceived and bore a son, and they named him Isaac, meaning he laughs, for laughter had returned to their hearts. Sarah rejoiced. The boy grew, and Abraham loved him deeply. Isaac was the son of promise, the child through whom all the nations would be blessed. His presence was a daily reminder of God's miraculous faithfulness. But then, in a moment of divine mystery, God tested Abraham. He spoke again, and this time, the word struck Abraham like a blade to the heart.
Abraham.
Here I am, he replied.
Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will show you.
Abraham did not argue. He did not delay. Early the next morning, he saddled his donkey, took 2 servants and his son Isaac, and set out toward the unknown mountain. For 3 days they journeyed. Each mile was a weight on Abraham's heart. Isaac, innocent and cheerful, walked beside his father. On the 3rd day, Abraham saw the mountain in the distance. He told the servants, Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there. We will worship, and we will come back to you. They climbed together, father and son. Isaac carried the wood. Abraham carried the fire and the knife. Father?" Isaac asked. "Yes, my son. The fire and wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham's voice was steady, yet full of faith. "God will provide for himself the lamb, my son." When they reached the top, Abraham built the altar. He arranged the wood. Then, with trembling hands and breaking heart, he bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar. He lifted the knife high. But just before the blade fell, a voice thundered from heaven.
"Abraham! Abraham!"
"Here I am," he cried.
"Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do nothing to him. Now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me."
Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket, caught by its horns, was a ram. He took it and offered it instead of his son. He named that place Yahweh-Yireh, the Lord will provide. And once more, the voice of the Lord came to him.
"Because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I swear by myself that I will bless you. I will multiply your descendants as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me."
So Abraham returned with Isaac, his heart now overflowing with the knowledge that God is faithful, even when the path is terrifying. He had passed through the fire of testing, and emerged a friend of God. The stars of the night and the grains of desert sand bore witness to the promise, the everlasting covenant, that through one man's obedience, the world would one day be redeemed. And many centuries later, on a hill not far from Mount Moriah, another only son would be offered. But this time, the blade would not be stopped. And through him, the promise to Abraham would be fulfilled for all eternity.